Hey guys! So a topic that's come up recently is caring versus caretaking. Now they may sound similar, but they are worlds apart. They can also look very similar on the surface, but what goes on underneath is very different. So caring, I'll start with caring. Caring is when we are genuinely coming from a place of love, and our intention is to be loving to someone else. And that means we are caring about ourselves firstly in the situation, and then we are extending that love and care to another person. So we are not trying to get anything from them. Caretaking ultimately means putting someone else's needs before our own and expecting something in return for that caring or caretaking, and mistaking that for love. Now this can show up in many ways and in many different forms, relationships, situations. But I'm going to describe two situations today which I think might be very helpful and which I have seen firsthand in my life, who people I care about have experienced. So number one is a mother and a son. Now let's call the mother Jane and the son can be called Todd. So Jane is on the outside a very caring mother. You know, she gives up everything for her son Todd. She's always there for him if he needs her. And as Todd got older, he started to become quite aggressive and steal from people, and get in debt, get credit cards and all these things. Now Jane, being the mother of Todd, tried to take control of the situation, and in her mind she thought the best way to do it was to bail Todd out of any situations that he got into. So pay off his debts, if he didn't go to work, call the job up and explain, you know, I'm sorry, he's sick or whatever, and lie on his behalf. So there's various numerous situations that she would always bail him out of. Now underneath that seemingly caring act was a deep-rooted fear in her, that if I don't do this, then I'm a bad parent. Okay, so she wasn't doing it purely from love. The intention was to control how other people were seeing her. But what was actually happening, her son Todd was never fully reaping the consequences of his actions. So he never changed. So is that love? No, that's caretaking, and caretaking is not love. Okay, so the second situation is there is two partners. So let's call the lady Jill, and the man can be John. So Jill and John are in a partnership, and you know, they've recently started dating, and they're getting on, and then something happens. Jill doesn't like something John is doing. He keeps doing certain things like grabbing her hair when they're sat watching TV, keeps pulling on it and just grabbing it like that. And Jill explains to John that, I don't like that behaviour, what are you doing? And he says, no, it's fine, like it doesn't hurt you, it's fine, there's no problem, and kept doing it basically. And over time, these situations kept happening. And Jill would get very angry at John. And she'd stay with him and stay in the relationship, but which was seemingly being loving to him and being loving because she wanted to, you know, try and work on the relationship and, you know, build a healthy relationship. However, it turned out that John had a personality disorder, and with people with personality disorders, there's no loving relationship unless they do very, very deep inner work, which has to come from themselves, and they have to want to do that. Now, in this situation, there was no sign of John wanting to change, of him wanting to be less controlling, less demanding. But Jill would stay in the relationship out of fear that if she was single, her mother would say nasty things to her, and she would be deemed in society as an outcast or not normal in some way. So she wasn't staying in the relationship because she loved or cared about John. She was staying out of fear of what other people thought of her. So that's a key sign of caretaking, is when, if you're genuinely caring about someone, you're not doing it from a place of, oh, I better do this because otherwise people will think I'm a horrible person, or I'm a bad friend, or I'm a bad partner, or whatever it may be. You're doing it because in your heart, that's the most loving thing to do, and it's caring. It's irrelevant what people think about it. It's because you believe that's the most caring thing, and it's coming from a place of love. Whereas caretaking is always, even though it can look sometimes on the surface as loving, it's never coming from a place of love. It's always coming from a place of fear. And what usually happens with people who are addicted to caretaking, because it can become an addiction, because you're so deep rooted in fear of other people seeing you as a bad person, or of you seeing yourself as a bad person, even regardless of what other people are saying. What tends to happen is caretaking becomes a way of avoiding knowing yourself, and you eventually become down and very depressed because the real you is not there, because the real you is the loving part, and this caretaking part is from fear. That's not the real you. And when we come from caretaking often and over a long period of time, we become depressed, we can become very anxious, and we can really, really not have any joy or feel any joy in our life for a very long time. And it can also eventually make us very, very sick. Now, in the case of the mother and child that I spoke about, the mother eventually got cancer twice. And that is an outcome of being a caretaker for a very, very long period of time. Because when you refuse to say no, your body will say it for you, and your body will get diseases, get infections, because you're not taking care of yourself. So your body needs to say, wait, hold up, I need attention. It's me who needs attention, not this person out here. And remember, the definition of caretaking is always putting someone else's needs before our own and mistaking that for love. So I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below, send me a DM. I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you next time.